Interesting strategy here by the OK guy, going with one file name, and we are off. And got 2 people starting in Sanctuary and 1 in Link's house, and Sanctuary just has small key. Link's house just has some arrows.
Speaking of arrow, look at Shady Force's sprite. I really enjoy the arrow sprite. It's fun.
Oh, and there's a quick check by Dwayne. I saw a blue pendant, I believe that was, at Tower of Hera, and I think it's crystals at the other 2, at Eastern and Desert.
Pretty nice start for our runners to have a couple crystals in the light world. We have a one runner. We have the OK guy who's going to go south, and he's going to head over to Kakariko Village. Other ones are heading over to Uncle first to see what he's got.
There's 100 roops there. The OK guy getting a 4 bomb drop off of one of those blue guards while he was farming bombs at the crossbush. But he is checking out what's on the maze, and the maze just has 50 rupees.
Yeah, nothing terribly exciting, nothing to certainly take the time to go unless you really want those rupees. But at this point, with the 6 bomb drop to take care of Kakariko Village, I doubt the OK guy is going to do that. Just a big old 20 on that library stanchion, so he's going to go ahead and say no thank you and head to Kakariko Village. As our runners, we have a little bit of divergence here. Another Wayne is going south into Kakariko, and the other 2 runners are likely heading to the Lost Woods.
And nothing but a 20 in Cross Products Tavern there. The OK guy going to show us the rest of Kakariko here. We can access pretty much everything there except for the Sick Kid bottle. He's just a boy. He's going to be showing us Dark Lost Woods. Sorry.
Shady Force, meanwhile, showing us that Aghanim's Ledge only has a piece of heart as he's just a boy found it's just a glove.
I think that glove comes in pretty handy later on, so you probably wanted to pick that up. And just 5 rupees in the Thieves' Hideout there.
Okay, guy is heading down to the well. He's going to see what is in here. He's going to start with a big 300 rupee drop. That is going to be great money to put in the first bank of Zora for the time being as he picks up the remaining couple of rupee drops there. And then we'll head out after picking up these last 3 chests, which will show a 20 rupee drop, a 3 bomb drop, and the Kana Burna.
Something that's nice to have, but not really required at any point unless it is the only way to access Laser Bridge in Turtle Rock or Spike Cave.
Of course, the OK guy getting a little bit of love from the bottle vendor. Thanks for your patronage. And he's just a boy is checking out Blind Set for the big drop of items there. Just finding a bomb upgrade, a piece of heart, big 20, and the Book of Medora. So literacy in Blind Set.
Gotta express my disappointment with Wayne for not freeing the chicken. Just can't agree with it.
Yeah, I say whenever you can, harass the animals here in A Link to the Past, it's always a crowd pleaser. You got the frozen bird toss in Misery Mire, and then you have the chicken toss there in Kakariko Village. So I would agree with your disappointment.
So not necessarily a super lucrative Kakariko for them. They got a lot of rupees, but their only items that they really found was the Burnacane and the Book. Book will give them access to Desert, but they still don't really have a weapon beyond bombs.
Yeah, certainly Kakariko was kind of a drought of items today, so we're going to continue to see where we go from here. The OK guy is going north to the Lost Woods. We'll see where the other runners route after they leave Kakariko Village. Since I think all of them started the Lost Woods route, probably go south from there.
And getting some hearts off of our tree pole there. Oh, and the OK guy is going to go ahead and give us a pedestal check at 4.5 minutes in.
I don't think I've ever seen a pedestal check this early on, but hey, to rule it out this early on is not necessarily a bad thing to know. And unfortunately, we only have 3 bombs on that pedestal, so unless you're a fan of explosions, I don't think we're going back for those.
So if you are watching this and you have never seen one of these randomizer races before, if you're familiar with Link to the Past, you probably recognize that this is not the normal Link to the Past that you remember seeing. We have mixed up pretty much all the items in the game. Nothing is unable to be gotten. However, you may have to do things that you normally wouldn't do. You may have to clear out Palace of Darkness before you clear out any other dungeon. In addition to that, the crystals and the pendants have been moved around as well. So Light World will have crystals, Dark World will have pendants. Goal is still to get 7 crystals, climb the tower, and kill Ganon. But it's up to our racers to figure out how they have to do it.
Absolutely. This game definitely becomes one half execution, one half puzzle solving, and we're going to see if Blaine maybe picks up another piece of the puzzle here as he drops down to the back of Escape. They've got 3 items in the back here to see, and then we have an additional couple if he would like to do some dark room action toward the front. We have triple bombs for him, we have a bomb upgrade for him, and we have the flute! And he's going to save and quit, and probably head back to Kakariko to execute the freeing of the swag duck.
That's a very, very nice item to find early. Unfortunately, that is a place that a lot of racers want to check pretty early after getting bombs and the glove upgrade. So you won't have a ton of time with it that everybody else will, but just having it in general is like great mobility.
All right, just a boys heading back to Saraswala's closet to get a 20 rupee drop, a quiver upgrade, and the fire rod. So we had a nice treasure there in Saraswala's back closet just hanging out for our runners, and likely the other runners will be headed back there soon to get that fire rod as well.
Yeah, that fire rod in the back of Salasha Bank's office there is like one of the first items or weapons that we really found. And he's just going to continue on into Eastern. That's a interesting play.
We do have 3 items that are possible in Eastern. Of course, now with that fire rod in the Book of Medora in play, I believe that at this point, Desert is completable. And we also have that glove as well. So unless, of course, there is something on that torch which will stop our runners dead in their tracks. But that may be where the seed is pointing them.
Blaine and Shady both checking out the dam at the bottom. Looks like it was just an arrow upgrade in the front.
Party in the back, maybe? Okay, guy was calling upon his past knowledge of the standard randomized weapons and trying a combination bomb burner strat, which looked like it took care of business, which is good.
Yeah, those blue guards will take 2 bombs to kill. There's a quick kill that you can do in there. It's a little tricky to pull off, but once you know the location of it, you can nail it pretty easily. And Shady is going to head on over into Desert. Unfortunately, not having that fire rod.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of a hard stop, but he's going to check the ledge first. He's going to find the shovel there, and of course that will be perhaps a fetch quest in the making.
And Wayne's got 15 bombs to kill 3 mini mold worms with. Let's see if he can pull it off. He can pull it off. It only took 3. Oh, and there's the Moon Pearl in Eastern. And the hook shot in Mini Moldworm Cave. We got racers finding things everywhere today.
Those are 2 real nice drops, and will certainly help our runners out as we move along. That opens up... we have Death Mountain, Eastern Death Mountain opened at this point with that hook shot, and we'll see where they go from there. Of course, it's tough to route that in when you don't have much of anything else to get to maybe Tower of Hera or even the Dark World. So I don't know that we'll see a Death Mountain quite yet.
Well, Blaine has access to it, but he's checking out Ice Rod Cave and only getting 50 rupees out of. He's going to walk out. Going to flute over somewhere. And he
Meanwhile,
just was. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, meanwhile, chat alerting me to he's just a boy picking up a sword in Eastern Palace, so that is a nice find for him.
And Desert looked like it was boots locked. So we're going to see what Agana has. If this is something, this could be something that a lot of racers don't check for a while.
The Ice Rod Cave in Agana, it's only holding big 20, unfortunately, but I've seen more often than not. One of those two could sometimes hold a really nice progression item, and unfortunately today, I believe both of those, Ice Rod Cave and Agina, not holding much of anything. We do have Bwayne doing his community service there, helping the old man to get a sword. Old man's giving his old battle gear as he sends Death Mountain with that hook shot. He can get to Eastern Death Mountain. He'll check Spectacle Rock before that. Just an arrow upgrade on the top of Spectacle Rock, and inside we have a Titan's Mitts. So Bwayne must be thrilled to see those. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the Moon Pearl, so the route in Dark World would not be possible at this point. But whoever goes, if he's just a boy, goes up to Death Mountain, he's going to be pretty pleased with what he sees.
Yeah, that early Eastern is definitely going to be paying off for him with that Moon Pearl. Because he'll get Master Sword from the old man, too.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but with those item combinations, though, one runner doesn't hold all of it yet. I believe Aghanim is gone.
Eastern Dark World no hook shot, so yeah, Aghanim should be gone.
I mean, unless you really want to go and fight Aghanim, I mean, if there's like a blood feud you have with him, but otherwise, I would say he's done for.
Well, I mean, he is a straight up evil wizard, so. Well, can you get through with hookshot? I think Mikon is telling us that we can't. So it should be a one-way trip. So no, Aghanim still may be in play if the hammer is in, say, pod.
All right, well, Aghanim back on the table then. As we find just some love in East Dark Mountain from Bwayne. He's got a few more items here to pick up. And unfortunately, without the hammer, he can check Spiral Cave, and that's going to be the end of East Dark Mountain for him.
Oh, and there's the mirror in Paradox Cave.
So at this point, if Bwayne wanted to, he can head back west to go to Tower of Hera and check that he could check the book location. He can't get what's in the tablet there, but he can certainly check it.
Yeah, Hera is just a pendant, but there's a couple checks you can do in it really fast. And clearing the dungeon out in general is just pretty quick for Hera. I generally think of it as something I'd like to do no matter what I'm up there with. And more times than not, you'll find something nice in there.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that one. It's a quick check, certainly can pay off for you. And Shady Force gets his hook shot from Generous Sky, and he's got a nice combination of items himself. No one yet has the combination of items to take them to the Dark World, aside from Dark Death Mountain, and it's your sort of original Nexus point.
Yeah, and even then, if they do head to Dark World, Wayne's got 7 hearts, which is doable, but we see like the OK guy with 4 hearts, it's just a boy with 4, Shady Force with 5, and only having the green jerkin, that can be dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous to go alone, and just having a sword, taking this is not going to help you in that Dark World. And we're going to see what the medallion is, and it is Quake for Misery Meyer. Which, by the way, Virtue Cat, I have dressed festively for today's occasion. I'm actually wearing my It's Dangerous to Go Alone, Take This shirt.
Wearing a pigeon cop shirt. He's a pigeon, but he's also a cop.
That's the best thing I ever heard.
And, Wayne, we're going to go check out Checkerboard Cave.
All right, let's see if indeed Checkerboard Cave is going to king Bwain as he jumps over and finds just a single rupee. So a rather quiet beginning to this match. I've certainly have gotten some exciting items, but haven't really have gotten stopped in a lot of locations because we don't have the right combinations of items quite yet. Indeed, Bwain shows us that Desert Palace is boots locked, as we see the small key on the torch there, and just a compass in that center chest. So he's going to be mirroring out and leaving, and we'll see where he tends to next. He's just a boy is about to get his hook shot in the generous guy mini Moldorm cave as he spin attacks or attempts to spin attacks those mini Moldorms. So he's going to be very close to having the right combination of items to push us forward to sort of the next step here in this event.
Yeah, that mini Moldorm cave, as early as we hit it up in this game, usually that can be a tricky cave. If you don't have an item like a fire rod, or if you don't have arrows, you can get knocked into those pits really easily, and you normally don't have a lot of hearts at that point.
Yeah, in addition, you could sometimes miss the item that generous guy has. I'm not saying that it's ever happened to me. It happened to a friend of mine. Yep, that's the story I'm sticking with. All right, well, Bwain is heading to Shamalama Ding Dong's hut to grab his fire rod in the back closet area, and he's just a boy. He's going to learn it's just the truth that the Desert Palace is indeed boots locked.
See, it looks like Shady Force took a death in the Dark Cave here, showing us that blue screen of death kill animation that is really neat. People do a lot of great job with these sprites. You can play as Mega Man X. You can play as various anime characters. You can play as just a straight up Shadow only, Invisible Link. There's a lot of really cool ones in there.
Yeah, I have loved the work that the community has done to really build these sprites out. And the OK guy is heading into the Dark World. Probably going to do some Super Bunny action here, it looks like.
So we know what the items everybody's found. This is actually reachable already, but it could make it a little bit faster for OK guy if he finds something like the boots here.
Ooh, Shady Force gets another 404 error death there as Bwain is checking the tablet, and it looked like it was some sort of increase, either bomb or arrow increase, as the OK guy finds just a lot of red in that dark Death Mountain cave. Got 20 and a heart container. Wayne's going for the Tower of Hera play. He finds a small key to begin, and he's quickly mirroring back to the entrance to see what is in that center chest. We did get a quick crystal and pendant. I didn't see it, though, for the Dark World. Okay, guys.
It was green pendant on Thieves Town, which I don't think anybody wants to see a pendant in Thieves Town. But red pendant was on Ice Palace. If there is going to be a pendant on Thieves Town, at least it's the green one. And he's just showing us the dig spot and just 20 rupees.
He's just a boy making his way to Death Mountain. He's going to be very pleased with what he finds here on Death Mountain. He'll be one of the first few that can access it legitimately. Well, I guess we won't call Super Bunny not legitimate, but without turning into and needing the Super Bunny strategy.
He'll be able to do Hookshot Cave as well. And with the way things are going, I would put a wager that we have some sort of progression in there.
Hey, we got a lamp there in Tower of Hera, so that is nice. Though these runners certainly know their way around dark rooms, the lamp is never a bad thing to stumble into.
Yeah, even if you know your way around a dark room, having that little cone of light will just make it a little bit faster for you, most likely. Unless you're talking about Turtle Rock, but at least you want that if you're going to have to go to Meyer at some point.
Absolutely. I never say no to a nice lamp.
And he's just a boy taking a death there to the Dead Rocks.
I feel like that's repetitive. Death to Dead Rocks. Bwayne is setting up the bomb jump here in Tower of Hera to see what is in the big chest. And it is a map, so all that work for just a map.
I held up a Death to Dead Rocks protest sign at Space World 96.
That is spectacular. All right, Bwayne is taking on everybody's favorite 9,000-footed boss. And indeed, someone looked that up for me once. 9,000 feet says somewhere in the online world. So our left two runners here are in Tower of Hera, and our right two runners on Death Mountain. So everyone's pretty much in the same region as Bwayne 0-1 Moldorm, as Moldorm knocks Bwayne down, and he shows his displeasure by leaving a couple bombs behind.
As a 12-year-old, I was so angry playing Link's Awakening, finding Moldorm as the first boss of that game, after how much I hated him in this game.
I mean, there's nothing likable about Moldorm. He's super obnoxious.
Oh, Bwayne almost taking another fall there. Oh, he made it.
Whew, nailed him, and he's going to get for his reward the second item here in this dungeon, which is just a heart container, unfortunately. 12 years old, huh? Virtual Cat, you're making me feel old. I think I was 5 when this game came out.
I was probably around 6 or 7. No, Link's Awakening came out, what, 94? So I was probably around 10 at that point. And unfortunately, he's just a boy going over to the right side of Death Mountain first before checking up Spectacle Rock. Not being able to get those mitts right off the bat, so he'll just have to loop all the way back around.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be frustrating for him to have to head back around, but I'm sure he's not going to be terribly upset to have those options open to him. Okay, Guy, learning the terrible truth that indeed Desert Palace is boots locked, and he's going to see what's in the center chest to realize that indeed it is going to be a dungeon he cannot move any further in.
You could feasibly go steal a key and see if there's an item on the right side, but man, it's a heck of a gamble.
Absolutely, and looks like he's just a boy. Did he just opt not to pick up those Titans mitts?
You probably don't need them.
I mean, heck, just leave him there.
He'll just pick them up here in a minute, probably. Titans Mit's one of the few items that's required every single game. You need Titans Mitts, you need Hammer, you need at least a Master Sword. and you need hook shot. After that, oh, and bow. You gotta have bow.
Hey, speaking of hammer, guess what we just found in the Meyer shed?
Blaine didn't check Meyer shed earlier, did he? Oh no, he didn't have the moon pearl. No wait, you can check Meyer shed in Super Bunny form, right?
That is exactly what OK Guy did and was doing. So he got the hammer, and so I'm going to say to you, Virtua Cat, stop. It's hammer time.
Ah, timely reference.
And listen, for all of you young people in the chat, I saw someone say their parents were playing Link to the Past. Hammer Time is a reference to MC Hammer, a popular rapper in the 1990s, which you may have only read about in your history books.
He's dead now. He's not dead.
I mean, MC Hammer, no, I don't think he's dead, but Agus certainly is.
And he's just really going to go ahead and pick up his hammer here, or not hammer, Titan's bits. And hopefully we'll see what's over on Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, we got a lot of exciting options now for He's Just a Boy. So he's got those Titan's mitts, he's got his hook shot, and we do have the OK Guy. Looks like he's going to fake flipper and see what's... see, he's got a lot of rupees too, so he can certainly spend those on King Scammer. We see a blue male on Hyrule Island.
If you're in that area, that blue jerkin is going to be really great to get. Going from green to blue jerkin is really handy. Going to red is better, but it's not necessarily something you go out of your way for.
All right, let's see what the hobo under the bridge has for the OK Guy. I couldn't quite see what he had. My screen might be just a touch too small.
I think that was a blue boomerang?
All right, we'll go with it.
Oh, shield. He's got a shield now.
Ooh, the Fisher Price shield. What a great find. Now, point of debate, Virtua Cat, is the guy under the bridge a hobo or a fugitive?
He's a fugitive.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But he could be both.
I wonder what law he broke to be on the run from the law.
Probably stole that shovel on Koholint Island. Everybody just calls him Thief from now on.
I mean, that very well could be it. Go ahead and put your guesses on why the hobo's a fugitive in the chat as we see what Zora's going to hold for Boing and what his $500 charge is here. And it's going to be for a piece of art.
And we're going to take our look at Hookshot Cave. Very creatively named.
We did see the 5 and 6 crystals are indeed Pod and Misery Myers. We had another lengthier map check as He's Just a Boy is checking Hookshot Cave, getting a couple of bomb upgrades. Gets the red meringue, the lag meringue, and then he's going to pick up his last item, which is just a red rupee.
Yeah, just like I said, no progression in Hookshot Cave.
So some creative answers in chat here about why the hobo is a fugitive. Tax evasion, making fun of Aghanim, breaking some law that Aghanim made up, something about a Jethro Tull song, maybe?
Ah, I loved him on Beverly Hillbillies. And he's just always going to give us our first actual, for realsies, visit into Dark World. He is going to go straight up into Skull Woods.
Which he can complete if he would like to go ahead and take care of Mothula. He does have a Master Sword. He does have the Fire Rod. Not quite an easy task all the time to take care of Mothula at this stage of the game, especially with the Green Mail, but he may be up for the challenge.
Thing is with Mothula, the spikes are going to be what usually does most of your damage to you, and those will do one day heart of damage no matter what Jargon you have on. And gets the first item already, and it is 20 rupees.
All right, okay, guy, taking down Moldorm as our runners on the bottom here, Shady Forest and Bwain, are both in Eastern Palace. Not going to find a whole heck of a lot before they're blocked out of the rest of the dungeon. I take that back. They're going to find a whole heck of a lot in the Moon Pearl and a sword, so I eat my words with that one.
He's just boy having a little bit of trouble there with my least favorite enemies in the game, the Gibdos. They're fine when you have Master Sword Silver Arrows, or not Master Sword, Fire Rod or Silver Arrows, but if you don't want to use your Fire Rod, then they are not fun to deal with.
Yeah, the Gibdos are definitely one of the more obnoxious enemies in this game. I would put them up there around the Dead Rock status, but certainly something that our runners can get around, and with that Red Meringue, I believe you can even stun them.
And you can.
That is indeed what he's going to do. You're not giving him an easy time, though, that's for sure.
Let's see if he takes a intentional death here in this room, and that's the second item. So 220s in Skull Woods takes an intentional death. Going to go kill Mothula at this point.
Yeah, well, that was quite a disappointing Skull Woods for he's just a boy, and unfortunately, unless you like $40, that's probably not going to be something you were too happy to see.
Remembering the days of yore when it seemed like every seed had something major in Skull Woods. You either got boots or hammer or hookshot or bow in there. Nothing today.
Yeah, Skull Woods has lost a little bit of its luster. A little of the polish has come off, but Wayne is excited to find his hammer, so he is also going to stop in hammer time.
He's going to hammer all across this land as he makes his way over to Death Mountain again. We got a lot of song-related hammer puns for you all, so be ready.
I can't wait. I mean, if you know my commentary style, you know that I just despise puns.
I actually only know one other hammer-related song. But we're getting Mothula here, and the goal is to basically keep him away from those spikes. He does not take damage if he is touching those.
So far, he's just a boy. He's doing a nice job here on Mothula, not taking a whole heck of a lot of damage and taking him down. Nice work with that green metal. That wasn't an easy task. He's going to find himself a map. He like steps out of the way just a little bit from it, but then he picks it up and grabs that first crystal of the game, and 33 minutes.
Yeah, this is the first crystal they've really had access to. Couldn't get into back in desert without boots. Couldn't get into Armos without bow. They can go to Thieves Town, and if he's just a boy had that hammer, he can full clear Thieves Town. He's going to give us a pedestal check here. Going to find out that there's only 3 bombs.
So speaking about the song-related puns, when I think of the hammer, I think of like Triple H, and like imagine if Triple H was just going through with his sledgehammer in Hyrule. It'd be definitely time to play the game.
Nah, Triple H is more of a shovel guy. That's some insider knowledge there for you kids. All
right, our right 2 runners, both in Skull Woods, are We're both in Skullwoods, and our left okay guy is in Eastern, and Boyne is in Hookshot Cave. So we got a lot of divergence going on, but all these runners are basically retracing paths of those before them.
So he's just always going to go ahead and pick up his hammer here in just a second, and that is going to give him basically full run of the Dark World at this point.
Okay guy picks up his pearl from Eastern, so that'll be an exciting find for him. He's done a fair amount of super bunnying anyway, but now he has the pearl to make full accessibility into Dark World. As he's just a boy, as you were saying, Virtual Cat picked up his hammer.
Blaine going through Spike Cave here. And getting silvers.
Ooh.
Wow.
That was a key move right there.
Speaking of key, Shady Force finding the boss key. That is 100% not needed to kill Mothula in this dungeon there. Shady taking the routing of Skullwoods that I generally prefer myself with. If you have access to kill Mothula, you go kill Mothula right then, right there. Don't even check any of the other chests.
Oh, hey, Virtua. Looks like we might be getting a Hype Cave check from He's Just a Boy. So what's your hypometer reading today?
Oh, man, I think it's going to be a good one. Haven't really seen a good one on stream in a while. I think we're going to see some grade A stuff here. Betting a sword upgrade, maybe flippers, powder.
I'm going to guess there's going to be a medallion here, and there's going to be flippers. That's my guess.
Oh, blue jerkin. And the bug net.
Ooh, so that's a 10 out of 10. Automatic 10 out of 10 for Hype Cave, because the bug net, as everyone who has ever heard me commentate knows, the bug net is the best item in the game.
And it looks like we might be getting Bombo's tablet here.
That's a good routing on He's Just a Boy's part. I was wondering if he was going to maybe go north and check the pyramid and some of the Hyrulean findings over there, but this is actually, I agree with this move.
I think with what he has access to, I probably would have preferred to see it with the purple chest check, but let's see what I got here. Just a piece of heart. That did fill him up, though. And TOG is basically taking the same routing there. We're going to be seeing South Dark World here from He's Just a Boy. Let's see, K45 and Stumpy, the man made of wood.
Poor Stumpy meeting such a terrible arboreal death.
Yeah, like everything else, everything else kind of wraps up really well by the end of the game. No, this dude just straight up dies. And even like the bully makes a friend. But no, this guy turns into a tree.
Yeah, that's pretty sad and lonely, but K45 has the best cane, the Cane of Samaria.
Wait, Stumpy is Flute Boy? What? Next thing you'll tell me, Zelda's not the boy.
Wait, what? I thought Zelda was the hero of whatever this hero's heroing.
Digging game. It's time to play the game.
and it's all about the game and how you play it. Unfortunately, right now, He's Just a Boy is digging up a lot of 20s. Ouch.
Just a bomb upgrade.
Yeah, that was something I'm sure he was not excited to see.
I'm going to take Mr. Toad here on a wild ride. It's not that wild. It's just literally 2 strings away. But I'm going to take him back to the blacksmith workshop. Oh, and there's the Ether Medallion. That is going to be required for Turtle Rock. Yeah, that early Eastern play is really working out for He's Just a Boy. Being able to access a lot of Dark World early. I mean, we didn't see people go to Eastern until this is one of the last things they could do.
Well, it does look like He's Just a Boy is going to check in on the blacksmiths to see if they have a nice little reward for him. Unfortunately, it's the boots.
Oh, cobblers! That's what they are today.
Well, that opens up our desert palace.
Making those designer footwear that He's Just a Boy does not get to use at all right now because he's got the chest following him.
All right, well, we have both the right side runners in the Village of Outcast, or at least Village of Outcast adjacent areas. So I'm imagining that we might see maybe a dip in a Thieves Town. It is a green pendant. Of course, we do have the chest for He's Just a Boy, so we got to take care of that. But could hold in its 4 items something useful. We're still looking for the bow, still looking for the flippers and the ice rod, and also Quake. So we got some things out there.
So Shady's about to pick up his boots too. And Purple Chest is going to give us just a piece of heart.
I wonder if that was somebody's organ transplant in that chest.
Well, see, it's a shame we don't get to spend as much time in the Skullwoods overworld as we do, because that is the best music in the game.
Absolutely, and a very stellar score. I would agree with you 100% that the music here is great. And He's Just a Boy, opening up the Thieves Town, checking that chess game for 300 rupee prize, and is going to be heading in. No, it's not going to be heading in. He's going to get the C-shaped house chest first. But we do have Blaine in Thieves Town, so we'll see what's in here.
Oh!
Ooh!
That is a pretty handy dip into a pendant dungeon. So that is 2 pendant dungeons right now that have had absolutely 100% necessary items. Wayne gets the bow.
Wayne's also noping out, gambling, maybe not such a heavy gamble, but gambling that there's nothing else of value in there other than the bow. Does, however, give us 2 more dungeon options for completion. We now have Pod and Eastern Palace on the table, and He's Just a Boy's going to make use of those boots and bonk in a few things to check a few locations.
Oh, and there's the blue boomerang in Bonk Rocks.
I wonder what the fugitive hobo had then.
Oh, that was the shield.
That's right. That's right. Boyne picking up his ether medallion. He's just a boy doing a later in-game check of the ledge here for Lumberjack Ledge, and he's going to run fast downward, and he can check the rest of that graveyard. He can check King's Tomb next.
So there's Wayne's boots. And that is everybody except for TOG having boots, which he should be able to access pretty soon after this. He's Just a Boy is going to show us King's Tomb and Ledge Above Graveyard.
Meanwhile, OK Guy is going to, looks like he's going to at least almost finish and not try to grab all the items in Thieves Town. It is a green pendant. Someone in chat saying a green pendant finish is never a bad finish. Just a Boy is going to check that graveyard ledge, see what our coveted item up there is. We haven't found the powder yet either, I'm just realizing. So that takes Batman out of play, at least for now, unless we find powder in this graveyard ledge cave or beyond.
And there's another shield upgrade. He's Just a Boy saying no thank you to defenses.
He's Just a Boy. He might be opting to take back Desert Palace now that he has the necessary equipment to complete. Can't get into Misery Mire yet because, of course, that has Quake as its medallion, and we do not have that yet. But certainly could take care of Desert Palace, and perhaps one of those two items is going to be Quake.
So we're going to see these bottom two chests here. We still got blind as well. And then the green pendant. So we'll need to figure out at that point if this is a worth it dungeon to go ahead and finish off. It looks like Desert had Uncle Bombs in it.
He's Just a Boy gets the big key. Of course, he can mirror back out to a more favorable location to check that big key chest. As OK Guy is going to take blind to the to our pun room.
Oh, and there's our first bottle of the game in Desert. Opens up Sick Kid for check out, see what he's got.
All right, OK Guy's going to take on blind. Nice little pun to start us off. Blind, of course, is one of those fights that they say is scripted. As long as you can kind of follow it in the same logical order every time, you'll get a perfectly scripted fight. Although it looks like OK Guy just slightly off that script.
Yeah, once you're off that script, blind becomes very chaotic and is not necessarily super difficult, but he can give you some trouble.
All right, a red rupee and the green pendant for the OK Guy as he takes down blind.
We'll probably see him make his way over to the pod in Eastern area. I'm going to be able to mirror and just give that pendant to Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks. All right, Just a Boy takes down Land Mollusk, gets his map, and gets his second crystal of the game. Shady Force not too far behind in tow. Got a Sick Kid check coming up here. First one of the game. Sick Kid, of course, is, I'm going to say he's going to hold the flippers. Oh, just another bottle. Bottle for a bottle.
It's just like, yeah, let me look at that bottle. Here's another bottle. Now let me look at 2 bottles. Like this. Kid's got to get his priorities set straight.
I mean, that bottle had a lot of green in it. I don't want to know what kind of sickness Sick Kid had.
Diphtheria.
Diphtheria. What was he on the Oregon Trail?
That is the first disease that came to mind. Don't disease shame me.
Don't disease shame me for saying diphtheria. Hey, we missed flippers. Where did we just miss flippers and all this funniness?
Dwayne got him in pod.
How dare Blaine find progression while we're making it's sickness jokes.
Oh,
Nice song reference there.
No, it's a terrible song. Dwayne's just gonna go ahead and go kill King Helmasaur.
Not a bad idea, of course. I'll have to go back for those last couple of chests, but it's a crystal dungeon, so why not? So we have Blaine, and he's just a boy in pod. Blaine is very shortly going to be taking on the Helmasaur King, which, for some reason, when I was young, I did not realize you can use the hammer, and I used bomb strats to kill him. So I always enjoy when I see a good bomb strat on Helmasaur King.
I don't think you will today.
I can always dream, can't I?
So yeah, at this point, we are basically just looking for Quake and Ice Rod, and we will know how to finish the game after this.
I mean, I hate to even say this, but Ice Palace is now an option, so there's that.
Hey, we had 2 mandatory items in 2 pendant dungeons already.
All right, well, Blaine picks up his second crystal of the game, and he's just a boy working on activating that potion glitch in pod.
We have a very rude chat here today, calling for Quake and Rock and Ice Rod in Mire.
Oh, chat, you're always so evil, but wonderful. Well, Wayne doing the logical routing here, taking care of pod, and then going right into Eastern Palace to also take care of that dungeon to kind of scurry up those 2 crystals right away. Still have not seen, I don't think we've seen the OK guy go over to Sahasrahla yet to turn in his green pendant. Ooh, there it is.
Why did Blaine not go into the back of POD? Because booyaka booyaka, there is the quake. Could also make a John Tenta reference, but nope.
Oh, John Tenta, man, that takes me back right there. Also known as Earthquake in WWE/F for those of you who might not know.
So we're ready to see the death of Marmos Knights.
Ooh, okay guy tried for a hover. He did. He tried for that hover. Did not quite make it. Blaine getting 10 arrows off of the Armos Knights. I guess it's a little ironic since you have to use them to kill them, and then he, you know, such and such and such. Alanis Morissette. Whoa! Did I just see what I think I saw? Oh, wait, we did see those already. I got really excited over flippers and then realized we've already seen them. I just disappointed myself. Sorry for everyone for my delayed excitement on those flippers.
No, man, I get excited anytime I see a pair of flippers. Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter where. I'm just like, yeah, flippers.
I mean, water toes.
There's Blaine going back into pod, picking up the Quake Medallion.
Some good old Ice Rod is our go mode item. It's, you know, it's always Ice Rod. It's always Ice Rod.
Alright, there are like 215 possible locations that Ice Rod can be. Chat, get your guess in.
Is there a speed gaming bot for guess the Ice Rod location?
I want there to be now. So I think it's more like 197 because it wouldn't be possible to be in Gannis Tower. So it just can't be on Trinex and it can't be in GT.
All right, okay, guy, trying for our hammer yump here, and successfully completing it for 3 bombs. I would say that's also a little bit of an irony there, using bombs to bomb jump to get bombs.
We're seeing a lot of really cool, neat things. We saw TLG try to hover earlier. We've seen fake flippers. We've seen the hammering up. If you want to try these out and practice them, you do not have to play all the way to these locations. There is a great practice ROM out there that will let you warp to wherever you want to go and have whatever items you want. You can find that in our Discord. Definitely check that out, and you can practice all these neat little glitches and little just tools you can use.
Of course, we are rounding the corner to our 1 hour mark, and so I'd like to just give a quick shout out to our trackers. We have Mikon and Sindoras, who during these 4-way opens, these dailies rather, this is quite a daunting task. So certainly thank them in the chat. They are fantastic people.
Yeah, without them, we wouldn't be able to give you this 5-star commentary that you're all listening to, because we're not going to be able to keep track of what people's items are. So thank you to both of our trackers. It'd be 6.5-star commentary if we were in Japan.
I'm just gonna say, Virtua, don't undersell us. I would say at least a 6-star. Well, we have 6 items in Swamp Palace. Boyne finding one of those, which is a heart container. We'll see if he goes left side to check for that last item. There's an argument to be made for doing it and not doing it. It is a crystal, so we'll see if maybe he just goes for that crystal first for Argus, and then maybe doubles back. Shady Force in short order is going to be finding his bow, which will be a very exciting find for him, and will allow him to complete Pod and Eastern as well, as we see both He's Just a Boy and Blaine in our Swamp Palace. Conspicuously enough, Virtua Cat, we have not found another sword upgrade, which could come into play later on, as you have to do spin attacks on Ganon if you do have just a Master Sword. So if I were these runners, though very seasoned, it is nice to have something other than just a Master Sword.
It absolutely is. Master to Tempered is a huge upgrade, and you won't see somebody like go through Aga 1 just for that, but you will see somebody like make a field trip over to the Likalia Island or go up to the floating island just for that.
Okay, guy took down Helmerstar King. We'll see if maybe he warps back in the Light World to see what Sahasrarla's got in that green pendant. We got 300 rupees and an arrow up. I don't know if there was 10 arrows. It looked like an arrow upgrade for Boyne. So 2 more items. Not what he was looking for. Not the droids he was looking for.
And Blaine finding the big key in that waterfall room. I'm going to go back here and take out Argus with Master Sword. We may see hammer strats here, but Master Sword is 2 slashes per puffball, so I don't think we will.
Yeah, I would say that menuing this boss is quite daunting, so I would imagine as we are seeing, Boyne is going to go ahead and use that Master Sword. Just a Boy as well is going straight for Argus, and likely to double back after that to see what maybe is in that big chest. We'll see what Argus has. If he has the Ice Rod, I'm saying all systems are going to be go for these runners. I doubt that they'll double back. I mean, maybe he's just a Boy because he does not have that bow yet, but I would say Boyne definitely not.
Oh, good snipe there on Argus by Blaine, and gets a compass for his trouble. Now he'll know where the boss is.
Excellent. That is a really important thing to know. I mean, that's the compass of Evil's Bane. If you throw it at Ganon, I think you just automatically win the game. Wayne opting to not further investigate Swamp Palace. I hope that doesn't come back to bite him, but he's gonna go to Ice Palace. Okay, guy taking down Armos, and again, we have pending the green pendant. We'll see if he uses the nice little bomb trick there. If you hold the bomb and walk across the portal, you won't transport back into the Dark World. But we are going to see what Sahasrarla's family heirloom is right now. Ice Rod. Do it.
Sas giving us just 50 rupees. Don't trust him, he's a cop.
I mean, he gave us the Fire Rod, so, I mean, that's a lot to ask. That's a big ask, if we want the Ice Rod, too.
Now, Blaine going to hop into Mire with 2 items in here.
As is the OK guy, so it looks like we got a Mire play on the left side, and we'll see if anything of value is in Mire. We have 2 items in here that are a possibility. course, there is ever that nagging possibility that Ice Rod could be sitting in T-Rock somewhere as well.
Could be just confirmation bias, but it feels like it shows up there more often than anywhere else.
I mean, and at this point, you kind of starting to file down your locations. So I'm sure there comes a point where you just kind of YOLO over to T-Rock. But of course, it is nice to be the last dungeon to be completed and then head on over to Ganon's Tower. It's a little hop, skip, and a jump away. So I would assume maybe these runners might exhaust other possibilities before heading that direction. Gwen finds that big key in Meyer. Still have a couple of items to be had before he jumps into Vitreous, yet one of the many eyeball-based bosses here in A Link to the Past. You would think that this game was developed by ophthalmologists.
Small note, Vitreous is who actually Wario and Waluigi were referring to in Mario Tennis when they say, "Take that, Mr. Eyeballs."
Interesting. Hey, also, we found a couple swords here in Swamp Palace, and we find an Ice Rod. Oh, no!
Oh!
So we, the audience, are in no mode. He's just the boy is close to go mode, and Blaine is in oh boy mode because he opted to say no thanks to that Swamp Palace. Now, refresh my memory, Virtua. He's just a boy? I'm assuming he didn't attempt these down yet, and has maybe not even crossed his radar.
I think he opened it. Ooh. But he's just a boy who has butter over Master Sword from both of our other racers.
And Blaine did the spooky glitch there in Misery Mire, and far be it for me to even explain how that happens. It's something with coordinates and altitude and magic. But he did it, and he's on to Vitreous now for a really quick and clean fight with those silver arrows. Just a big 20 from Mr. Eyeball. So Blaine, what do we do now, Blaine? If he dips into T-Rock, thinking the Ice Rod is there, it's going to be a real big time sink for him.
Oh, Blaine will dive T-Rock before he goes back to Swamp. So when he's just a boy, just takes that short little dive into Thieves Town. That will be basically game almost at that point for these racers.
Yeah, at that point, it's going to be hard pressed for anyone to catch up. I mean, there are many things that can happen between that go mode and actual GG. So we'll see what happens.
There could be an earthquake. There could be power failure. But yeah, he's just a boy. I got sort of a commanding lead right now, just having that Ice Rod.
Peeking in on our 41 runners here, and yes, 41 runners. No one has finished yet, so these runners still in good shape.
So Shady Force also picked up his silvers by doing Spike Cave. We'll see if He's Just a Boy or Tog picks those up as well.
mean, that is definitely another X factor here. Is if he doesn't get those silver arrows, though, you know, spin strats on Ganon is not nearly an impossible feat, and something that many people do. Certainly is takes a little bit more time than just throwing those 4 silver arrows into Ganon. He also, lacking that bow, it might be doing a bit more of a thorough clear of things. But then again, so was Blaine, as he went through Misery Mire and lacked that Ice Rod.
So Tog's showing us the other strat for Vitreous here, and that is just dashing through while you have some sort of invisibility. And after that, switching over to arrows. He's got a blue jerkin on, but Vitreous can still do a lot of damage.
As he is showing quite nicely here, as okay, guys, down to one heart, so he's got to be careful.
By geography, we've got all 4 of our racers back in sort of the same general area. Blaine just on the Light World side, while everybody else is on the Dark World side of this dungeon.
Whew, okay, guys, putting me on the edge of my seat here, but it looks like he's gonna clutch this one out, 1 heart, but he's gonna throw some arrows into Vitreous and take his crystal and his 20 bucks.
Much like real life, eyeballs are weak to arrows. And he takes a dive.
Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, eyeballs are weak to arrows. The more you know.
I mean, they are.
You would think that Ganon would have amassed a much more impervious force than, like, eyeballs and, like, a crawling 9,000-footed Nanapede and a person that just shoots eyeballs from its head.
I mean, at least Helmasaur decided to put a piece of armor over his weak point.
Yeah, but I would say if this were a dodgeball match, Ganon didn't really get very good picks here.
And Blaine is making the climb up to T-Rock.
Unfortunately, unlike Miley Cyrus saying it's the climb, it is not going to be the climb that's going to get him what he wants. Yeah, and he can't even leave a nice portal for himself to come back, because that Ice Rod is in the Dark World, and you need that portal to head back into Swamp. So if Blaine is about to sink some pretty heavy time into this, unfortunately, it's not going to be to his benefit.
He's just a boy showing us how fast that gold sword will take out these eyeballs as well. Here's the thing, though. When he's just a boy is going to get that bow, he is going to think he is so far behind just from that alone.
If he's just a boy opts to go into Ice Palace, though, that could be a little bit to Blaine's advantage, because he's going to also sink time into the wrong place.
Yeah, when Blaine figures out that this is not where the Ice Rod is, where does he go at that point? I think he's just a boy would go to Thieves Town before Ice, though.
Yeah, I would definitely think that. You know, if I were in Blaine's shoes and I didn't find the Ice Rod here, I might think cynically enough, like, oh, I did leave behind stuff in Swamp Palace. It may be there. He's going to be really upset, though, if and when he goes back and finds that Ice Rod. But he's just a boy. Headed, looks like he's too headed for T-Rock. He might think that the bow is in there, because I've seen the bow in there quite a few times.
Mimic Cave bow is so common that it's kind of become a meme in and of itself in this community.
Okay, guy, taking that big bomb to the Pyramid Fairy. Not gonna find much of anything. He may find the powder, but that, or maybe the cape, but that's about it. A value, that is. I mean, he could find the mushroom, and that mushroom could lead to a fetch quest, but that's about the scale of things. We have not had a pyramid check, have we?
We have not.
Well, okay, guy will likely do a pyramid check while he's here. In addition to that that fairy, so we'll see what's here. Again, not anything he's gonna want. It looks like it was just a piece of heart. Well, the positive for he's just a boy, though, we still haven't found that bow, and you're clearing T-Rock before, you know, not as your 7th crystal, is that he's only gonna have to do this once, and then he's going to, you know, obviously have to make his next move, and hopefully it's Thieves Town.
Now, Wayne's about to give us our look at Mimic Cave here. I don't know if anybody saw that bit race the other night, but this has quickly become Alucard's favorite room.
Oh, poor Alucard. I did not see it, but I heard that it was tough. Well, finding some arrows in Mimic Cave. That's not what Blaine was looking for.
TOG has had to get a swamp. We'll see if he checks out that left side. If he does, that will be go mode for TOG.
Absolutely, and you know, if he checks the left side, he'll get his swords, and if he checks that big chest, he'll get his ice rod, and we'll be off to the races.
Dwayne showing us pretty much the closest thing to an autoscroller that this game has. This room, just as long as you're looking in the right direction, you'll make your way through it. He picks up like a couple hearts and a magic refill here. Good quick thinking on his feet by Blaine. Unfortunately, he will have to show us this room again here in probably about 20-25 minutes.
Unfortunately, we had a few forfeits so far in this race, and you know, sometimes just not feeling it, sometimes just make the wrong move at the wrong time, and so GG to those runners. I won't say who they are, but GG to them. And again, I know that one of my first dailies I forfeit. I just got really frustrated, so sometimes it's just not the night.
I mean, sometimes real life pops up, sometimes just you're not in the right headspace to play this kind of game. And if you're getting angry, just go ahead and quit. You're not going to make it better by just throwing yourself at that wall over and over again. Just take a step away, catch your breath, play a less frustrating game like Dota or Dark Souls, and take a rest. Now, Blaine finds powder on Laser Bridge. Now, I'm going to go see what he's going to get cursed with.
I mean, powder's nice and certainly helpful, but it's not what Blaine is looking for, so we're going to see how long it takes him to get back to Swamp Palace.
Like, he still might check the back of Thieves Town before doing Swamp. He might do Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ice Palace play, while certainly not something that I wouldn't, not something I would misunderstand, is not the right play. It looks like, though, Boyne might be going back in the swamp. It looks like he might be making moves that way.
Wayne's doing Pyramid Fairy.
Oh.
And TOG, I'm seeing double. 4 sword upgrades. And I guess his Butter Sword.
Paula Dean would be very happy with Swamp Palace.
So He's Just a Boy is not going to be losing a ton of time from doing T-Rock right now. The biggest thing that he's going to miss out on is when Turtle Rock is left for last, you can just make your way back over to Ganis Tower in, 15 seconds? When you do it from another dungeon, you have to flute back up to 1 and then go up to T-Rock, use that portal there, and then go to Ganis Tower from there. So he's maybe losing a minute and a half.
He's Just a Boy looked like he was going to open up that back hatch. Thought against it. He does have the powder. He does have some safeties to have. So he might just be, he's going to powder those anti-fairies and then head on over to Trinex.
Or no, he's not. He's just gonna do it. I think he had that fairy in the bottle though.
Okay, I was gonna say, man, he's a madman. This He's Just a Boy. He's not just a boy. He's a madman.
And there is go mode for TOG getting his ice rod at 122.22.
Fortunately, Shady is opting to go T-Rock as well, hoping the ice rod will be there, I'm assuming.
No, Blaine checked Catfish, and I did not see what was up there.
Never mind, he's got that ice rod. He's going up to, he's also in go mode.
I did not get Shady getting ice rod.
He got it all shady-like, so we couldn't see him.
Wiki.
Oh my god.
Oh, what a great Argus by TOG. Missing out on the 0 cycle, but wow.
Yeah, that's a thing of beauty right there.
Yeah, that was just a really, really great Argus by TOG.
So, Virtua, we're fairly close here. We are in the 7th crystal for Shady Force. I didn't kind of snuck up on us again, shadily.
Well, I think Shady was just never really... He was never doing anything first. And... yeah, I mean, we saw He's Just a Boy went into Easter first, got the Moon Pearl. Wayne went into Thieves Town first, got the bow. TOG, he got those Butter Swords and Ice Rod first. Shady just doing the best out of doing the best mix of the 3 of them.
I mean, he's the real Slim Shady. All the other Slim Shadys are just imitating. Unfortunately, he's likely going to go to Ganon with the Master Sword, so that is definitely going to be a little bit more challenging than having a sword upgrade.
And Blaine doing that lumberjack check. pulling out his flute already. Seeing that it's just a piece of heart. Blaine now racking his brain. His brain to figure out where this ice rod is.
Blaine is whacking his brain.
This is a G-rated stream. Thank you.
Oh, I was just going to launch into a Homestar Runner thing, but, you know. Hey, if you're a Homestar Runner fan, by the way, fun fact, on a GoFundMe, they're going to make a Trogdor board game, so enjoy that.
I had some friends that played that at Gen Con, and said it was fantastic. And Blaine, going to Ice Palace, it seems fitting that the Ice Rod would be here, but it's not going to. He's just a boy finishing off Tower of Hera, hoping that the bow is in there. Shady going to finish off T-Rock here.
Yeah, this is a tough space that Blaine is in. I mean, certainly, again, this is something that makes sense to do, but we know, as an audience and as a commentator, from the commentator couch, that it's not going to garner him anything, maybe, at all. However, he's just a boy who's about to get himself some silver arrows from this spike cave, so that is going to be exciting for him. As the OK guy is heading himself into T-Rock as well. I would say the OK guy is could be in a pretty darn good position. He's got Butter Sword. He's not so far behind Shady Force. It could really be the difference maker to have that sword upgrade.
Oh, and I think he's just a boy is going to head back into Thieves at this point.
And ladies and gentlemen, we do have our first finish of the race. Arier has finished in first place with a time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and a single second.
If I remember right, Arier made the brackets at the spring tournament. One of the, probably about a quarter of the people who applied for the spring tournament, 512 people, 128 made brackets. No, it looks like he's just a boy is going to get his bow. And Blaine now going to go check out Swamp Palace. Going to get his Ice Rod. Do you think he's going to not get those swords?
Yeah, that's could put him in a tough spot. Certainly.
And he's just a boy going to go ahead and finish up Eastern and Pod, and that will be Gaines Tower for him, while Shady Force is taking on Trinex.
Well, while he's taking on Trinex, I believe we still play. Do we play the key game here, Virtue, on the dailies?
I mean, we might as well.
Sure. So, hey,
we'll have a key party.
We're gonna throw the key game in here. We're gonna get a cape too, but 1 to 22. Throw your guesses in the chat for where you think this big key is in Ganon's Tower. If it counts, I think if you are a subscriber or have donated 200 bits to any of the Speed Gaming channel, you can be on the big old leaderboard. So go ahead and spam those numbers in.
Where do you think it's going to be? We don't have a lot of time to guess.
I'm guessing 14. That's my big guess, always.
I have calmed on 2 of Wayne's matches during the tournament, and both times the big key was in tile room. So, tile room.
So no, we don't officially play the key game. That is my mistake. So put those guesses in there anyways. I'm just not going to activate the bot here. That was my fault.
Thank you to Mad_Tears for subscribing to this channel. And chest number 1, small key. Chest number 2, shield.
Opting not to go right side, he's going to head on over to left side, Shady Force is, and we're going to see some more items here and see where that big key is. 1 and 2 were a bust. We'll see if 3, 4, 5, or 6 in the mini, the Stalfel's children room. I think that's what they're called. Where?
It'll be 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chest 3 was the torch. Chest 4 has 50 rupees. Chest 5, piece of heart. Chest 6, small key. Chest 7, piece of heart.
So 7 in, still no big key. My guess of 14, still living.
Apparently we did not get it on chest 8. I missed the fire bar room.
We got chest number 9, and then I believe the random room is coming up after that.
Shady having some troubles with his red boomerang. Just saying, forget it. I'll use this red cane instead. Boomer cane. Chest 9, red rupee.
Okay, guy about to finish off Trinex here. He of course has the gold sword, no silver arrows though, so everyone's kind of got a little bit of a different configuration going to Ganon's tower. So we'll see really how that all shakes out.
Just 10, 11, and 12 not having much. Just 13 having the half magic, which would have been really handy earlier on in the seed. Still comes in nice for GT and Ganon himself, but that is probably one of our things that our racers would really like to see early in terms of safeties and the nice-to-have items.
We do have our second place finish from Bonta with a time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 29 seconds. Okay, guy heading into Ganon's tower. We'll see if he does left or right side. Unfortunately, Shady 4 is taking away those pots to bonk across, so he's trying to bomb jump himself across. Saying no thanks, he's going to just respawn those pots by exiting and re-entering that room.
Always feels terrible when you accidentally just pick those up.
All right, here comes 14. It is just a piece of heart, so there goes my guess.
Oh, the tile room dreams alive.
I was just gonna say, could it be the tile room is the place to be? Nothing from the Ice Armos, so right side is where it is. If not in the tower room, then somewhere on right side.
Oh man, we got a 20% chance of tile room. That is a terrible forecast.
Shady Force holding out the faith there that it is not in tower room, speeding right on past, and we got 4 more items coming up here in the near future. So we've got a 1 in 5 chance to see where this key is.
Blaine is going full right first, and has a strong chance to catch up here. Unless it's tile room. It's not tile room.
So the key is in chest number something that I lost count on, but Blaine going full right is going to gain him back quite a bit of time, and is kind of on par right now with Shady Force in that they both have Master Sword and they both have Silver Arrows.
I think that was 18?
So congratulations to whoever guessed 18. You have my undying love and affection.
That is E623. You're a winner, darling.
So far, no other finishers, just first and second. So these runners got Boyne and Shady Force, perhaps in contention for the 3rd place. Bob was not playing nice with the OK guy, hitting him a couple times before he got that bombable floor to activate. Shady in the gauntlet, as is Boyne. Both pretty close in the gauntlet. This race has gotten really exciting. We thought for a while Boyne was down and out after skipping out on Swamp Palace, but certainly making up a lot of lost time here.
Yeah, both Blaine and Shady are about to be in the same room at the same time. They will likely both be in the Lamolus room at the same time.
Ooh, he just missed those arrow shots. That put him a little bit behind. I thought maybe he was gonna tie it up.
And He's Just a Boy and TOG are both have butter swords, and on Ganon particularly, that can make up a really huge amount of time because both these racers are going to have to use Master Sword spins.
Oh yeah, I didn't even really think about this, but you're right. They're gonna have to use the Master Sword spins. Fortunately, they do have the Silver Arrow, so they do not have to go full Master Sword Silverless on this. But this is gonna be a race to finish between Shady Force and Boyne because anything can happen.
I mean, if either of them fall, then He's Just a Boy or Talk can basically just come from behind at that point. Oh, Tog doesn't have butter or silvers, does he?
No. Boyne and Shady checking those chests right before they make the last gas stop before Ganon here with full magic refill for Troldorm 2. And then we're on to Trigonagadum Tree, which is famous geometry-based boss where you have to test your skills of angles, both acute and obtuse.
Saw Trigonamina Tree on tour with Adam and his package and Matt the band a couple years ago.
Excellent. Shady and Blaine really neck and neck here, heading into Trigonometry. The Moldorm's last remains, I believe it was either errors or an error upgrade, so nothing doing there.
Double for Shady.
Ooh, just a boy taking a death. He does have a fairy in a bottle, so that's good. He doesn't have to re-enter Ganon's tower, but that's tough. Tough death to take.
Oh, 2, 2, and 2 for Shady Force. Gonna go take on Boss Hog, the big pig. The porcine swine. Porcine, is that how you say it? Porcine? I don't even know what that means.
I'm going to defer to your linguistic knowledge on that because I didn't even know that was a word. But what I do know is that there is a third place finisher, Zoda Stone, with 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 33 seconds. GG to you in the chat.
Porcine means pig-like, so any swine is going to be porcine.
So in terms of our featured four here, we got Blaine and Shady Forest taking on the Big Pig. We'll see what happens. I mean, with Master Sword spins, this battle could get quite hairy quite fast.
Yeah, when you spin on Ganon, you move probably about a third of the screen away, which that could come into play here on phase 3 and 4. Oh, and Shady taking a death. He does not have a fairy.
So Blaine has taken the lead here with our featured four, unfortunately with Shady taking a death.
And Blaine still has the green jerkin, so any hits from anything is going to be very, very painful for Blaineful.
Blaine is in phase 3, so oh no, still in phase 2. I thought I saw a different type of bat flying across the screen. I did not.
Was there one flying in your house? Are you okay?
I mean, maybe. I should probably watch out. I don't want to get like bitten. Blaine is making a very apt use of that, or adept use rather, that cape as he continues his sword spins on Ganon in phase 2. Should be entering phase 3 any moment now. Ooh, and we just missed it. Okay, guy did the hover. He hovered away from Moldorm, so well played. Okay, guy, well played.
And Blaine does enter phase 3. He's got a bunch of green potions, but did not look like he had any health potions. He may still have a fairy, which does not help him if he falls. But
ooh, why would you even say the F word? Well, our featured four are really close together. We have, he's just a Blaine okay guy, both on Trigonometry, and we both have Shady Force and Blaine on Ganon. Blaine entering phase 4, getting in that first hit there. I'm going to dump a couple silver, or at least one silver, getting that torch glitch.
and Blaine takes it as long as he doesn't fall here. He got a double there on that last second.
All right, so Blaine looks like he's going to be the first our featured four to make it over across the threshold. We'll give you his official time.
And Blaine is the first finisher out of these four.
Official time for Blaine is 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 7 seconds. And in fifth place, right after him, was DKS 89, fifth place, 1 hour, 44 minutes, 29 seconds. GG to both of these runners. Blaine, of course, our first featured four to finish. And then we have another finish, Shady Force. Oh, I apologize. Well, I mean, we saw him finish. I almost spoiled it for you guys. Sorry. Got overexcited in my reading.
However, OK Guy and Just a Boy are essentially synced up here.
Okay, GG to Shady Forest, now 6th place, 1 hour, 44 minutes, 38 seconds. Matt 7898, 7th place, 1 hour 44 minutes 58 seconds. Pikmin Warrior 8th place, 1 hour 45 and 17. So we had a lot of finishers coming in now.
Tog, unfortunately, taking a death to Ganon. And he's just a boy getting a quick double in and the torch glitch. Oh, missing that double opportunity there, but he's going to get it off of this. And that is it for He's Just a Boy.
He's Just a Boy is just a winner now. He's going to cross that threshold and be our perhaps our next finisher. We'll see if anyone sniped him on, and we'll give you his official time in just a moment. We'll be joined by our runners in short order for an interview.
I think we can go ahead and pull Blaine in here. Hello, Blaine.
Hello, Virtual Cat. Hello, everybody.
How are you tonight?
I've been better. How are you?
That was a really fun match to commentate. A lot of really cool stuff. All four of you all really close to each other. We really had no idea who was in the lead basically until Gaden's Tower. And even then, you and Shady both had Master Sword. Your other two featured finishers both had Butter Sword.
Boy, I checked a lot of stuff. I was kind of wondering where the heck those swords were. But
boy, wouldn't you know, they were still in Swamp.
Okay, well, I wouldn't have found them then, because if I had stuck around, Ice Rod would have been go mode anyway, so I was Master Sword no matter what.
And it is getting just very crowded in here. He's Just a Boy and Shady. Hello.
Hey, GG's.
I think all three of you all finished within probably about a minute and a half of each other.
Glad it was a close, exciting one. I felt like I was way behind.
And Tog is about to finish too with his Silverless Cannon. He did not check Spike Cave, and he will be finishing about 3 minutes after.
I feel kind of silly. I meant to check the first 4 chests of Thieves Town when I was there, and then I got the boots, and I was all like, "Ooh, let's go do other stuff," and completely left it behind.
Yeah, we saw you open up Thieves Town and just never go back.
Yeah, it was definitely in my intentions to at least check the first 4 chests, and yeah, I got distracted.
So you were actually the first to find Ice Rod, and you were one of the only two to find Tempered and Butter, both right there on Left Side Swamp.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny when I found those, and putting it all together when I was coming up to the end, I thought we might see some Master Sword Silverless Ganon fights because of it.
So that seed did not give you all much to work with at the beginning, aside from gloves up in Lost Woods. It wasn't until probably getting the hook shot and Moon Pearl over in Eastern that anything really opened up for you all.
Boy, I felt awful in the beginning of this. I couldn't do anything correct. My train of thought was all over the place. I thought I had Aghanim access, and I didn't have Aghanim access, so I started to walk to Aghanim. I put off Eastern Palace till the very last thing. Full cleared Hera. Just the start of this seed was not the prettiest, and that kind of contributed to me not going back into Swamp later, unfortunately. So, probably compounding my mistake there. But yeah, the beginning of this seed, we had a lot of items, just no Moon Pearl. Once we had the Moon Pearl, everything opened up.
Yeah, Just a Boy actually went to Eastern very early and got that Moon Pearl and was able to pretty much clear out Dark World Death Mountain by the time he went up to Light World Death Mountain at the same time. No, that was a really great race.
Yeah, I like the way that started for me. Getting to do all of Death Mountain all at once, and just kind of sat on not going back there until hopefully I had Ice Rod.
So was I the only one who missed Ice Rod on the restream? I
No,
got to imagine most people went back in with 3 items.
I think you were the only one that did not go back in immediately.
Yeah, that's probably not my smartest play.
I went back in immediately because I knew Bwayne would not go back in immediately, and I was hoping to get one up on him.
I basically committed to Ice Rod and T-Rock as soon as I found that Quake medallion in pod. So yeah, that didn't go super well from that point forward.
I figured that would be a gamble a lot of people made, so I was glad when I went back in. Although it's hilarious to know that the other 2 swords were also on left side. I was never going to pick them up because I shot as my go mode.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Even if I went back in, that would have been it. I would have been doing Master Sword no matter what.
Oh boy, and I was begging for GT Big Key to be in Tile Room. I think every match I've ever seen of yours streamed, it was in Tile Room.
If somebody hadn't finished at the time that they did, by the way, shout outs to Erier for finishing really fast so I could nope out of ice, because that's where I was when he finished, and I said, there's no chance that the Ice Rod is here in ice. Let's go back to Swamp. But yeah, with that fast of finish, I was pretty sure it wasn't going to be in Tile Room either. Otherwise, I might have given you just a little love by going there first when I got up there.
I mean, it was looking close because Shady actually did the left side first fully, or was that just a boy that did left side fully first?
No, that was me. I always do left side first. So Big Key was like, well, not my last chest, but I had to open all 4 to get a small key to go with my big key. So I've opened everything except Tile Room. So did you guys notice my my little getting stuck in the old man cave for about 5 minutes?
We weren't going to bring that up.
So it was just like, it was bizarre. I was in there and I was like going through it, and I thought I knew where I was, and then I got lost, and I'm like, oh no, okay, well I'll just save and quit. Let's just get out of this place. So I save and quit, but it puts me back in the old man cave because that's where you save and quit to when you picked up the old man. And then I died a few times, and it kept putting me back in the cave, and I was stuck. I was panicking. I thought this was going to be the end of my restreamed career here.
Like, I was a little bit confused because, like, I know that I've seen him race before, and he's had really good times. He knows this room. I was like, what's going on?
I just didn't have a sword, and then the old man gave me a sword just to rub it in.
Cave climb without a sword. I've gotten stuck in there before, and I vowed not to do that without a sword, or like a boomerang or something.
Well, I have nothing left to add. Virtua has done a nice job at probing some questions. And I have to say, GG to all 4 of you guys. Exciting race, as always. You're really fun to watch, and it was an honor to commentate your restream today.
Hey, thanks. GG's to everybody. Yeah, Shady. He's just a boy. Okay, guy, if you're in here. GG's, Virtua, Prof Gamer. I'm sure you guys did a great job. I'm definitely going to rewatch this just to see Shady stuck in that cave for 5 minutes, so for sure. But yeah, GG to everybody. GG to the finishers. I know we weren't the first ones in there, but we were all pretty close, so that's pretty good. Pretty good race.
Yeah, everybody sub 2 hours, which I consider a great time because I've only done it once. But no, fantastic. It was a really fun race to watch. You never knew who was winning until pretty much the end. And it was just, yeah, GG's all around.
Yeah, GG guys.
GG guys, and thanks so much for commenting and restreaming. Really appreciate the effort you guys put into this to make it a cool show.
Of course, a big thank you, in addition to the 2 voices behind the microphones, are trackers, again, Mikon and Sindoras, doing heroic work tracking a 4-way featured race, so GG's to them as well.
With that said, I am going to hop off here. I want to say thank you to Prof Gamer. Second time I've commented with you. It's always great fun. And I got my own race starting up here in a second, so I'm going to go prepare for that.
Good luck to you, VirtueCat. As always, it's been an honor. Always fun to commentate with you. Thank you to the audience for being such a interactive part of the experience today. And thank you to Speed Gaming. Of course, you put the schedule. I put the schedule there in Speed Gaming for all the fun and frivolity that is happening on Speed Gaming 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can always volunteer. There's a Discord for a link to the past randomizer as well as Speed Gaming. And that does it for me here. And on behalf of VirtueCat and our 2 trackers, Sindoris and Mikon, follow our 4 featured runners. Certainly, if you want to give us a follow, all the information was in the chat. And have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.